So we saw last week that Giuliani had a meltdown on TV where his hair dye, which looked like blood coming out of his ears, his hair dye was leaking out of the sides of his faces. And I don't show clips and stuff because I'm sure you've probably seen clips all over the place, but it looked like Giuliani was literally transforming and melting down like a gremlin. For those of you that are old enough to remember Gremlins on TV. And one of the things that he was melting down about, aside from the fact that his hair dye, God, at that age, using a hair dye, I mean, come on, just let your hair go gray. You know, I'm 50 years old. You don't do that stuff. You just go gray. Just let things play out. One of the things that Giuliani was melting down about, well, he claimed that he had a tremendous amount of evidence that they're going to prove in court to show that the election was rigged. And then later on in the week, the judge Matthew Brann, I think he pronounced it Brann, Brann, Matthew Brann of the United States District Court of Pennsylvania said, "It is not in the power of the court to violate the Constitution. In the United States of America, this cannot justify the disenfranchisement of a single voter in response to Giuliani trying to get all of these votes tossed, let alone the voters of its sixth most populous state. Our people, laws, and institutions demand more," is what he said. At bottom, plaintiffs have failed to meet their burden to state a claim upon which relief may be granted. So here's what you've got here. You've got Giuliani, who is now the only lawyer that Trump's got because everyone else jumped ship, like I said on my last YouTube post. Giuliani going in front of the camera and saying this is massive fraud all over the United States. Only massive fraud in the presidential race, however, because they're not claiming there was fraud in the down ballot races, such as when the GOP actually did a pretty good job in flipping some House congressional seats. You know, I think the Democrats lost 6 seats in the House. That's pretty impressive. The GOP, and it's impressive on two fronts. And it's impressive, number one, that there are that many people that are still going to align themselves with the president, because that's what the Republican Party is now. It's the party of Donald Trump, of the goon, of the ogre, of Frankenstein's monster. I mean, let's face it, that's who he is. What's impressive is that the Dems, that the GOP were able to pick up that many seats in the House, considering the circumstances under which we live right now. But it's also impressive from a little bit more intellectual viewpoint that a lot of people voted for their Republican congressmen and women, and then on the top of the ticket voted against Donald Trump. That appears to be the way that this whole thing played out. And that really needs to sting for Trump, because there are obviously a lot of people voting GOP, but voting to get rid of DON. That's it.